Well, that's new. You just hit record.
Yeah, it started doing that.
Yeah, came.
Just letting everyone know.
Oh, we have Vicky. Oh, you know what? I didn't see the second screen. There we go. I'm sorry, everyone. I call the what is this? May special meeting to order of the Pine Plains Planning Board. The first item up is KTB Properties and the application for a restaurant site plan. If we could Jack, do you have it to pull up, or do you want us to pull it up?
You folks have it electronically. I have those packets that I send everybody with. I mean, I've got copies of everything, but I don't have it electronically.
I can bring it up.
Yeah, the map. Let's bring up the site plan map.
Amazing that Wesley got this done in this time frame. Yeah, it looks familiar.
Yep. If we could just zoom out.
Yeah.
Now, did you get gravel put on the map, Jack, or is that something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's what we're looking at now. This is the latest copy.
As far as I know, it's the last thing that Wesley sent to Drew and to Tricia, as far as I know. I mean, I don't have it precisely in front of me, but
It says proposed outdoor. Well, I spoke to Ray about this, and the only thing that he said that he wanted added was what the material for the outdoor seating would be. And you told me it was going to be gravel.
it's gravel. Yeah, the whole backyard is gravel.
Right. So that's just it's either on this copy or it's in our hard drive somewhere with the copy with the gravel on it. Yeah, I don't think this one says gravel.
This would not be the last one you got then.
Okay. But if it's only that one little
But
change,
but it's gravel. And nice looking gravel, if I say so myself.
Okay. All right. So now we talked about this earlier in the month at our first May meeting. And now what has happened is the applicant has originally it was a extension of a non-conforming use because the restaurant pre-existed zoning and was not used for a year up to this point. It had been in disuse as a restaurant for up to a year, over a year. And so the applicant has chosen to withdraw that application and now just do a full site plan for a restaurant. And again, this is in the business district, Hamlet Business District, where restaurants are allowed by right with site plan approval. I guess let's start off with if Ray, just confirm what I was saying. I don't want to speak for you as far as that this site plan conforms to what we look for in a site plan, and it's as far as you are concerned. Good.
Correct. Yeah. So I took a look at the zoning code, and it does meet all the criteria as far as the information contained with the site plan criteria. The only one item that I did note that when I was looking at it was the area for the proposed outdoor seating. It just did not identify what type of surface that was going to be. I believe that the applicant had identified at the last meeting that it was going to be stone as far as gravel. So I just requested that actually be placed onto the plan.
All right. And there's no other issues with that you see based upon it, as far it's conforming to the site plan requirements, but there's no other issues you see of the actual property.
Not that I had seen of the property. That's correct. And again, it was previously utilized as a restaurant for a number of years as well. So, but yeah, nothing else as far as the site plan that was submitted. No other issues that I had seen.
All right. So Warren, do you have comments or procedures that you want to tell us about in regards to this?
I don't have any comments because it's the first time seeing this. This was not sent to me. So I'll rely on Ray's review of it.
Okay. Um, and as far as reviewing a site plan for a restaurant in this district, what is the procedure for that? Do we need to go through?
You're asking me what the procedure is?
I would like you to tell the yes, if you could tell, just so we everyone is clear, whoever's watching, as what would happen now. Yes.
Well, you need a part one of an EAF. You have to adopt the part one of the EAF, and the site plan has to be sent to county planning and a 239M referral before you can approve it. You can conduct a public hearing in your discretion.
Right. Okay, so that is something that I would like the board to talk about now. Board member, we are aware that there was several, I guess, letters from a neighbor sent regarding this reanimation of this restaurant here. And I'd like to hear from the board what you guys think about having a public hearing or not for this application. Normally, in my opinion, something like this, a restaurant been operating for years, it's allowed in that district. In my mind, I don't know if it we would go through, if we would, we might want to waive the public hearing. However, I'm going to leave it up to the board and see what you guys think, especially since a neighbor definitely has some issues with the application. Anyone speak up? And
Well, I didn't get the email, so I don't know if we have the EAF. Can we do that tonight, or do we have to come back next month anyway for that anyway?
Yes, that was submitted with the package.
The EAF has to be sent down with the referral to county planning.
Right, so
we can't evaluate it till it goes through that.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
that's just
You talking to me?
Yeah, so we can't evaluate the EAF until they've said something about
No,
it?
you can you can take the part one of the EAF. I don't see it. It has to come on the screen.
Right.
You have to go through it, just review it and adopt that as the part one of the EAF. And I'm assuming that you are the lead agency. This would be an unlisted action under seeker. You have to declare that it's an unlisted action. And then send the site plan application together with the part one of the EAF county planning for their review and comment.
And how long does it usually take once county planning gets the site plan?
I don't know, but we can't act on you. They have 30 days, I believe, in which to respond. Usually they wait until the last moment.
Well, they do have this currently. What it is this electronic system that you submit it through, and we've actually have been getting turnarounds fairly quickly from that.
Yeah, you can ask them to do it more quickly if you have a time constraint.
Especially if they view it as local concern, which very often they do. Obviously, if they have an issue with this, then then it would take.
I don't think they'll have any issues. I mean, they'll probably indicate that it's a matter of local concern.
Right. So that's been turning around fairly quickly with that electronic system they've instituted. So Tricia, can you get that EAF pulled up, please?
I'm looking for it now. I don't know if I have an electronic copy of it, unfortunately. If it was the one submitted, the second plan, the paper copies, I don't know.
That's what I submitted was paper copy. Same with the site plan application was a paper copy.
Okay.
And the narrative and all those documents were just paper. I sent one, I made 10 copies of everything for everybody.
Yeah, I have those. The only electronic things I have is the site plan, Michael.
So that was
I think there was one submitted with the original application. No?
We can work off that, Warren?
I'm just looking to see what
I
I
don't
have.
think,
I don't have the current application, so I'm looking at the old one.
I just looked at the old one and I didn't see one on it.
when we were doing the use, that was not included. This is the first
Oh,
copy.
you didn't have it. Okay.
No. I can read it aloud if anybody
Yeah, why
wants.
don't you just indicate that we have a part one and that the information is there, that you've signed it. I mean, they're really pretty simple in a case like this.
Yeah, it's I can
Oh,
go through it if you'd like me
I
to.
have it here. It's right. It's on the same file as the application. It came from Drew on,
Oh, okay.
let's see here. It came from Drew on 5/20.
Right.
Okay, gotcha.
Are you able to find it, Drew?
Yeah, just give me one
You're looking
second.
for it, right?
Yes, I'm just gonna pull it up.
You rock.
Okay, so yeah, it's just the part one, right?
Yep. There we go. Oh, that's the cover. There it is. Nope, that's the
No.
application.
Coming, she's gonna scroll down.
There it is.
There.
There.
Can you center that a little better? So because I'm blocked a little
Uh,
to my left. No, the other way. So-
Don't think I can send
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
You could
That's
use,
okay.
Warren, you can move your box. of-
I'll just leave it because sometimes when I move my box, then I get canceled out. And I don't want to have to come back and go ahead through it.
So what, I mean, we don't read this part, right? I mean, this is, we just.
It's just
Yeah,
a-
just go. I'm looking through it right now. Looks right. Go ahead. Continue it. Hold it. Hold it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Wait.
Back up. Okay.
Do you, doesn't this require Department of Health approval, Ray?
There's also a letter from the engineer who recently inspected it, that it conforms.
Okay, because I don't have it. Please send me the application so I have it for my file because I don't have
Yeah.
it. Go ahead. You can go.
That
When you say-
correspondence should also.
Turns out it's a really good septic system, which was nice to hear.
The correspondence should be on file with the planning board as well from the Department of Health.
Yeah, go ahead. Continue. Go ahead. Looks fine to me. So what you have to do is someone has to make a motion to adopt the part one of the EAF and declare this as a type 2, an unlisted action under seeker, and that the planning board is the only involved agency, and that this will be sent to the county planning for a 239M referral.
I'll
Can
make
I
that
have
motion.
a
And that
motion?
you're not requiring a public hearing. You might want to do that at the same time if that's the case.
Well, we didn't get, no one spoke up on that. I would like. to-
Okay, so why don't we
let's
just do
let's
those
just-
things
Let's
first?
let's just do this part first. Can I have a motion as per what Warren just said?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Let it be shown, the motion carried unanimously. Okay, so now as for the public hearing, what say ye about having a public hearing? Now, we were within the time frame where we could have it at our June meeting if we wanted to do one and have proper notice, correct? It's,
I think you need 10 days notice to all the property owners within, I don't know, 300 feet. Is that what it is in the code?
200.
Code feet.
so, yes, we have time to do that. So what do you guys think?
I think we have to have a public hearing. We have a neighbor who has concerns and they need to be heard.
Anyone? I see Ethan nodding. Everyone else agrees with that? Or anyone disagree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, can I just speak up for a second?
Sure, Peter.
Yeah, I apologize for coming in late. Was there any discussion of the letter that neighbor sent in at the beginning as to what the legalities of that were? Recognizing that might involve legal advice?
We did not discuss that, Peter, being also that this is a new application technically, because they
Okay.
withdrew the non-conforming use application, continuing of a non-conforming use. And then now now this application is just for a site plan for a restaurant within the Hamlet Business District.
Yeah, but I don't have it up on my screen at the moment, but it had a lot of, wasn't it a different lawyer from the last letter?
Oh, the new letter, I believe, yes, it was a different lawyer.
Well, it just had legalities in it, which I didn't look into, and
I haven't seen it. There's a
I haven't-
second letter. Peter, is a second letter? There's
I
another
haven't-
letter?
Yes.
I haven't seen that. So,
That came
Ward,
to,
I wonder if maybe my emails are going in your spam folder or something.
I don't know.
Might want to check.
I'm getting emails, but I didn't get this email. When did you send it?
Oh, I think last Thursday.
Yeah. Could we just, can you just put that letter up? Is that possible?
I thought it came in over the
Yes.
weekend or something. Because maybe I didn't look at my email quickly enough. Anyway, whatever it is, it's a new lawyer from a new letter from a new lawyer, as near as I can tell, about the site plan, and it just has a lot of legal citations to the code, and it makes some legal argument in a couple of pages. So obviously Warren's going to have to look at it.
agreed, but it is also based off a previous application that's been withdrawn, because they didn't get, this is the first time anyone's seeing this application, right?
Well, this is the same letter that was submitted before, no?
It looks like it.
Wait a minute.
Very
no.
similar.
But it's a different,
No, it still refers to the, this still refers to the extension of a non-conforming
Yeah,
use.
that's not the application that's before the board.
No.
I apologize if I'm looking at the wrong one. Then never mind, as is customary with me.
I think it's probably a good idea to have a public hearing, considering that there is some objection from neighboring property owners. Let them be heard.
okay, so can I have a motion to have a public hearing? Oh, wait, hold on, let me get my date. I gotta get my calendar. up. I believe it's June 9th, but let me make sure. To have a public hearing at 7:30 on June 9th via Zoom at our regular meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Oh.
Are you-
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Are you going to be
opposed?
sorry,
Yes, Warren?
are you going to be able to get those notices out?
Yeah, I foresaw this happening. I basically prepared them all. up.
Okay, I just
So-
want to make sure.
Hopefully they could go out tomorrow if the clerk can
Okay.
get them out tomorrow.
All right, I think tomorrow would be a good idea.
Nice work.
Yeah, because then it's 10 business days, Warren?
I don't think it's 10 business days. Hold on, I have the 10 days.
All right, so yeah, definitely. It definitely can go out in time.
And the notice is on page 100 of my code book that just tells you exactly what you have to send.
Okay, so where were we? So anyone not in favor? No, okay, let it be shown, the motion passed unanimously to have a public hearing at 7:30 on June 9th. So do we have to have a motion to declare lead agency, or that was all part of no, that was part of the motion we already did. Now, do I have to go through the questions as far as, so it's unlisted action, so we have to go through?
No, we would do it after the close of the public hearing or during the public hearing. We would go through the part 2 of the EAF, and then you would say yes or no to the questions that are that are in that.
Okay, so, and I forgot, what did exactly the county say about I mean, the Department of Health say about the septic? It's been approved or what?
What I sent you is the engineer's report to, and he doesn't have the official county one back yet, but it's, he discovered that it is a fully conforming and in quite amazingly good shape and substantial in size. I don't have a letter yet from the county specifically. He had said it would take a couple of days, when it's been about a week, I think, since I got the letter from him.
So Ray, that letter, so what he's waiting for the Department of Health would give them a go ahead to open at all as a restaurant, or is that just for extra number of seats? Like what is that? What is he waiting for from them?
Well, since it has been dormant and not utilized for a year, it does need to get the health department approval. So he will need to have that in order to open.
So we don't
and
hear
again,
back by the 9th, it'll have to be a condition.
exactly correct. If it doesn't come in time after the public hearing, the planning board has the option of just having that as a condition to the approval.
Okay. All right. Does anyone have anything else on this application?
Well, I have a question about, is the backyard area a deal breaker for the applicant? I mean, because it seems like the neighbor is most concerned about the outdoor extension.
There are no deal breakers. I mean, all we're trying to do is, I mean, you know what we do, and we think this fits within economic development of the town and yada yada yada, and we'll do whatever the law tells us we can do. Obviously, to be completely candid, the number of seats will be an issue that it's unlikely that we'll be able to put those back seats out there. I just want to have it as approval, because at the point that we expand the septic and get more seating, then that will make it possible. In the interim, will probably exceed our seating limit, although I don't have the seating limit yet. We're negotiating as to just exactly what the number of seats will be. It's just something that we think, again, we just think it's a good thing for the town. It'll look like the old backyard of Stissing House, you know, with it'll just be a nice thing. There are no deal breakers. I mean, you know, if that's the question, no, it's not a deal breaker, but but we think it's important going forward. It's not critical for our first day of operation by any stretch of the imagination, but we think it should be, when the time comes, we'd like to be able to do it. You know, we may decide to, for a particular weekend, to close the indoors and use the outdoors. I don't think that's the plan, but it would just be good to know that we have that opportunity. And it doesn't impact anything. I mean, you know, there's no, you all may recall the outdoor seating at Stissing House. It certainly was never raucous or anything like that, nor would this be. We're talking about something like 4 tables of people sitting out there having a nice dinner. I mean, that's it.
And it would just be for seating, right? There's gonna be no music.
There's no music. No music.
What about smoking? Is smoking gonna be allowed?
No.
Okay. And also, everyone keep in mind that, you know, we don't know what's gonna happen with COVID. Right now, it's you know, fingers crossed this keeps up. It's on the wane, and no variants, etc. But you never know, you know, how that goes down the line. And you still have people that, you know, either aren't comfortable dining inside and or have issues where they couldn't get vaccinated or whatever, or are immunocompromised, etc. And you know, so that is something also to think about, in my opinion.
We didn't ask for this specifically within the COVID waivers, but you make a good point. There are some people that would prefer to eat outside. I mean, look at Leah's and look at the Platter, and you know, and there are people that simply say I'd rather eat outside.
There's also an executive order from our county executive that is permitting restaurants to have outdoor seating as part of the response to COVID. You might want to check up on that.
Okay, excellent. All right, well, thank you very much, Jack, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Who submits this thing? Now, one question.
Oh,
You
we do
mentioned
that.
something about a part 2 of the environmental. Is that something I have to do, or that's?
No,
something
we
you-
have that.
Okay,
We
okay,
have that, and we also submit the thing to the county.
okay. So there's nothing else you need from me at this point. Just show up and smile.
Sounds like a plan. Yes.
Thank you all.
Take care, Jack. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. So the next item up is the Capuano application for the site plan and special use permit for accessory structure on Church Street. I'm sorry, I can't remember the number. If we can pull up the latest plan, Tricia, we have an updated site plan from them.
Yeah.
Okay, if you could just bring it up a little bit and zoom in slightly, so we can take a look at those features of the septic and stuff that's on there. All right, very good. Okay, I guess if the applicant could just tell us what the status, if anything much has changed besides getting the site plan together in the last 2 weeks.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board. Thank you for your time. So as you can see, we have updated the site plan in accordance with the section 275-62 that Ray requested we do. So this plan is that, and we've done it to the best of our abilities. We're looking for site plan review and approval, and we're also looking for a special use permit approval. You may have, I assume you have received a letter from the applicant, the owner, requesting a waiver on living in person on the site whilst the accessory building is being constructed. So there's that waiver there that you should have now in your hands. And then lastly, we just want to, if necessary, if a public hearing is necessary, we were hoping that we could schedule that tonight for the next board meeting. And that's what we have.
Well, let's look at the site plan, and Ray, can you tell us with any of these additional features, comments you have on it, completeness, etc., please?
Yeah, so the applicant's done a nice job to go back to the code and provide the information that's outlined within the code as far as site plan requirements. I just have two minor comments. One is that there should be a note on the plan indicating the origin of the survey. I'm assuming that came from an actual field survey that was done by a surveyor. So just adding a note where the origin of the survey information, what the date is, and the map, as far as the title of the map. Secondly, the other item that I have has to do with the proposed water supply to the cottage. It appears as though the water supply is being connected on the outside of the existing building, located between the sidewalk and the existing building. In actuality, that will need to be revised because the water supply to the cottage, the town's code as it pertains to the water system requires that one parcel has only a single meter. So the water supply will continue to go into the existing building through the meter. And only after the meter can it then be branched off in the basement of the existing building and then go out to the cottage. So that should be revised as well. And again, that can be done prior to the next submission. Those were the only two items I had pertaining to the plan. And similarly, for the planning board, again, as we had discussed at the last meeting, the applicant has made a submission to the Department of Health. So again, any decision that the planning board makes after a public hearing would just be contingent. One of the contingencies or conditions, excuse me, would be the fact that health department approval will need to be provided on the project prior to the chairman signing the site plan.
Okay, very good. Now, as far as the, let's on to the waiver part of it. So you got, do we have that waiver, Tricia, in the letter that they submitted? Can we pull that up next, please?
Yep, 1 second.
By the way, any members of the board, sorry, does anyone have a question regarding the site plan and before we pop that waiver up? I'll take that as a no. Was that? Do you have it, Tricia, or you need me to see if I can find it?
I have it. I'm just having trouble pulling my
Oh, yeah, now we're
Zoom screen back up. Oh, I see now. Okay, hold on.
seeing your, okay. Well,
Bear with me.
sure. Okay. Yeah, in many residents currently available as a residence, we tend to live in accessory dwelling currently under construction. But the landlord once completed and oversee the renovation. Okay, Warren. So, is this what we need from them, or is this? Because this is not exactly. Well, you go ahead. You speak on whether or not that this is satisfactory for to let them live in the accessory dwelling once it's completed while they renovate the main residence.
Yeah, I just wanted clarification of what the waiver was they were seeking. They're seeking a waiver of the requirement that the principal dwelling be owner occupied, but they are agreeing that the accessory dwelling will be owner occupied. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so you can waive that. If you make you're going to have to make findings in accordance with the waiver requirement in the zoning code. You could do that when you make your final decision. But the waiver should be clarified to indicate that what you're waiving is the requirement that the principal dwelling be occupied, but you are going to be requiring that the accessory dwelling be owner occupied.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what we did with this letter.
It's not clear, but if you can clarify that, then that's fine.
Okay, sorry, then I'm not clear. So we are.
So Warren, you just wanted to say, instead of "we intend to live in the accessory dwelling," just
Yeah,
say.
I'm assuming the waiver, they have to specify the waiver they're asking for. What you're asking for is a waiver of the entire requirement, which I don't think
we're only asking for
the board would do that. But if the request is that the principal dwelling not have to be owner occupied, but that the accessory dwelling be owner occupied, you can waive it to comport with that requirement, as long as the accessory dwelling is owner occupied. Because I think that's might also be the change that the zoning committee is considering for the zoning code, that one of the two have to be owner occupied. Is
Yes,
that your
that
intent?
was-
I just
Yeah,
need,
that's absolutely our intent.
Okay.
We can't occupy the accessory dwelling until it's constructed.
that's correct. We understand that.
Okay, so what we're saying, what this letter says is that we intend to live in the accessory dwelling currently under consideration by the planning board once completed. So I think that's quite clear that they intend to live full-time, owner occupied in the accessory dwelling once it's completed.
Fine. So if the planning board decides to grant the waiver, then that would be the condition of the waiver.
Okay.
Can we move on that waiver tonight?
You can if you like, but the problem is that if you look at the section on waiver, it's kind of detailed in what you have to do in making your finding for the waiver.
Sorry,
So
Lauren, could you just tell me what section number that is?
it's, hold on. Section 155, G3.
Okay.
So if you look at that, the planning board has to go through some machinations in granting the waiver. So if the board is of a mind not to grant the waiver, then we're dead in the water. If you are of a mind to grant the waiver, then I would prefer that the waiver conditions be placed in the final decision of the planning board so that we can get the language correct.
So you're saying we should construct the waiver?
If there is a straw vote of the board members to grant the waiver so that it would be owner occupied, the accessory dwelling would be owner occupied, rather than the principal dwelling owner occupied, then we can move forward with the application and the waiver provision can be put in the final decision of the planning board if you grant special permit and site plan approval, because you do want to meet the language of the waiver provision in the law.
Well, I'm in favor of moving forward on the waiver, and I don't know how everyone else feels.
I agree. And I think we can do it if we do the public hearing next, is June 9th also too soon, or can we do it then?
No, we can, yeah, I think we could do it June 9th. Where are we with the EAF?
I think you have one. If I remember seeing that.
All right,
Yeah,
so
there
this-
was one submitted.
Okay,
There
so,
was one submitted. I have it here if you'd like to run through it.
oh, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
Can Tricia let him share a screen, please?
Should be ready to go.
Can you all see that?
Yep.
Would you like me to scroll through or?
I looked at it, or it looked fine to me, except for the description of the application, which I think should refer to, specifically refer to section 100. Hold on. Give me a second. It should read, the description of the proposed action is the construction of an accessory dwelling pursuant to 100. Hold on just a minute. 55
D3?
D, yeah,
Sorry,
D1,
155.
actually, D1.
D1. All right, what was the G3 was just for the waiver you said earlier. This is for what? The
That's a
spec-
different, the waiver provision is a different section.
Okay.
but county planning is going to want to see that, so they're going to want to know that.
Construction of an accessory dwelling pursuant to section 155-D1.
That's correct.
I'm looking at that section, and unless my book is wrong, that's not the way it looks to me. D1 to me says public hearing required. The planning board should conduct a public
Yeah,
hearing.
it's a special permit use, so you have to have a public hearing.
I understand that, but I, okay.
Warren, are you going off of I'm trying to look at it on the E code. Are those numbers different or something?
too.
I don't know, maybe, maybe I have the wrong, I'm trying to use the hard copy, so maybe do I have, is it 156 or 155? Hold on, just a minute.
155 is speed.
It's I'm sorry, 156. I misread it. It's 100-56 D1.
And is that the same for the waiver?
No, that's a different section.
Is that still 155
Yeah,
G3?
yeah, that's the 155.
And that's 100 dash, not 155.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's 100 dash.
100-55.
100 dash.
G3 is the waiver provision.
Okay, thank you.
So let me just see if we have to amend the EAF to indicate that. Could you, let's see. Could you scroll that up so we can see the rest?
I'm sorry, you're seeing my screen right now, aren't you?
Yeah,
what
you
would
could
you want me
scroll
to
the
go back
EAF
to?
so we could just look through it again. I just want to make sure that you
Yep.
up the other way. Yeah, okay, hold on just a minute. Go ahead. Continue the next page. Need to see. Just scroll it up a little more. No, I think you're okay. Yep.
Okay.
So what you're going to need is same thing you did last time, which would be a vote to adopt the part 1 of the EAF, to declare the town planning board that it's a unlisted action under seeker, that the planning board is the only involved agency, and that you're adopting the part 1 of the EAF.
Can I have that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It's shown that that motion has passed. So now we need a motion to have a public hearing. Tricia, would you be able to get this also out?
Yeah. I
Yes?
prepared those ones too.
Oh, you're too good.
Same requirements, so 10 days.
Thank you.
So can I have a motion to have the public hearing on, I guess, June 9th at 7:40? We'll see, it'll probably be a little later than that, but I don't want to have to wait. So 7:40 PM on June 9th via Zoom at our regular June meeting.
I make that motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Let it be shown that the motion to have the public hearing for this application has passed.
I just want to remind you that you have the planning board, the county planning has 30 days to respond. So if you don't get a response by the date of the public hearing, it might be a good idea to call them and see if you can get them to, you might let them know that you've scheduled a public hearing for both on those dates, and they'll try to rush it.
All right, well, we'll get it in the system tomorrow.
So is this going to the county as well, this application?
Yes.
Okay.
And- yeah. Okay, anyone else have any comments or questions regarding this application?
I just would like one clarification if I could.
Sure.
I will just to let you know, I will revise the site plan as Ray instructed, and I'll resubmit that in the coming days, assuming you'll have it by, June 9th, obviously. In terms of the waiver discussion, I'm still a little unclear. Is that action on us? Do I need to rewrite that request? Or is that something the board will be crafting?
I was under my impression that we just have to go through our checklist. Is that correct, Warren?
Yeah, the board, we have your application. The board will be crafting its decision on the waiver, but it looks like the board is of a mind to grant the waiver as long as the accessory apartment, the accessory unit is owner occupied.
Great. And so there's nothing more on us to do other
You don't
than.
have to do anything more on that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and board. We appreciate your time tonight.
Okay.
Thank you.
You.
Take care. All right. So next, I think we have minutes. Tricia got minutes.
All right. I'm signing off.
Yes, the consultants can go. Drew, do you have anything for us? Thank you, Warren. Thank you, Ray.
All right. Enjoy the week.
Good night, everyone.
Hey,
Drew, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing new.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. I guess you can go also then.
Okay, everybody have a good night.
You too.
bye.
Did everyone get a chance to look at the minutes? I know I can't remember. They came out yesterday. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, it was only yesterday.
Or did we want to wait on them?
Can we wait?
Sure.
They're pretty long.
They're pretty long.
All right.
So is the meeting.
Hey, this is under 3 hours or so far tonight. So
It's not over yet.
no, it's not. If I can have a motion to, I guess we need two motions. I think this is what the town board usually does for these things. We a motion to go into executive session to discuss personnel issues, and also I need a motion to adjourn when we come out of executive session to adjourn the meeting at that time. So I guess first let's have somebody give me the eventual adjournment motion in second.
So moved.
Second.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Yes.
Okay, that motion passed and will be enacted once we're done with executive session. Well, I don't know what that was. Can I? Oh, sorry. Can I have a motion to enter executive session?
I move to enter executive session.
Second.
I'll
Second.
second it.
All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, let's enter executive session. Tricia, can you please shut off the recording and broadcasting, please?